me start by saying that if you were to go to Wesley High School in Rhode Island and pull my transcripts from high school and look at my test scores and look at what I've done in my life for the last 25 years, I think you would see a stark difference from what you expected to see to what I turned out to be. I'm just going to do this for a minute. I've been a police officer for 23 years. I've been in EMS since I was 14 years old. I don't know the amount of people are alive today literally because of what I did for them. And I don't mean bringing them back from being dead from cardiac arrest. That is certainly a high number. Multiple AED saves. And I'm not going to sit here and brag for a long time, except to say that there's a huge impact that I believe that I've made in my community and certainly in my 5 years in the legislature. As many of you know, if you watch me in the chamber, I don't sit in my seat for very long. I just can't. I'm 44 years old, and I still can't sit still for long periods of time. So if you want to tell me that I have to sit down and listen to you talk to me, and then I have to take that and put it on a test and answer questions, it's not going to go well. And for 4 years, it didn't go well. But I don't think that makes me unintelligent, and I don't think anybody is suggesting that. We've heard a lot about reading, right? Like the ability to read. I would suggest that every one of my colleagues in the legislature can read. However, many of them choose not to. They vote on bills that they just didn't read. So just because you can read doesn't make you any useful if you choose not to. What we do in our schools and what we've done for the last 20 years is we have sit kids down and said, if you cannot learn the way we teach you and do well on a test, you will fail. Now, nobody maybe said that in words, but that's what happened, right? But when I was a 17, 16, 15-year-old kid, this may not surprise some of you, I bucked the system, and I bucked it a lot. I was going to do what I thought was right, and I was going to do what I wanted to do. A little bit easier when you're 44 than it is when you're 16, right? Got me into some trouble. Thank God my parents never gave up on me. But I sit here before you today. I have two sons in 8th grade and 10th grade. And, people say to Shane all the time, how do you live with Greg? And her immediate response is, I live with 3 Gregs, right? Because my 2 boys are exactly like me. So when they come home and their grades are a C+ or a C-, is your homework done? Did you turn in everything that you were supposed to turn in? Did you study for your test? Did you do the best that you can? Because if algebra is not your thing, fine, you could be successful in something else. If science isn't your thing, fine, you could be successful in something else. But I have certain standards that I want them to meet. Kind, respectful, putting people above themselves, care for others, those foundational skills that'll make them successful, not their ability to put the right answer on a test. I think the teachers in my district, though I have disagreements with some of them sometimes, know their students. Nobody's talking about not doing assessments. Nobody's talking about not deciding where our kids are. But to do an assessment and get the data later, and half the time, by the time it comes back, my kids are out of that teacher's care at that point anyway. So I trust my teachers, where my sons are, to do an assessment in real time, understand their learning abilities, in the way that they learn. And they don't have disabilities. I'm fortunate. They're healthy boys and whatnot. But, to give the teachers that answer in real time and let them address the needs of what those kids are in real time, and not trying to get those kids to answer the best questions on a test or to be a good test taker. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter if you're the best test taker in this building or any other walk in life. The truth is, how well can you learn what you're good at and excel at that and be a contributing member of society? So I would submit to you today that some of our most powerful legislators in this building, taking us alone, if you gave them a test on the process alone, half of them would probably fail it, let alone the content of the bills. That doesn't make them ineffective legislators, right? They get the job done. They represent their districts. So, as I said, I put this bill in for 3 years. It's a bit personal to me, but it's also because students and teachers alike came to me in my first term and said, we got to get rid of these. And I'll be honest, I opt my kids out of them. It's not necessary. And I think that we could do a lot better for our kids in a lot different ways. And I thank you for listening to me. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Representative